Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Inside Star Citizen. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. On the show this week, cows. Space cows. An entire episode dedicated to cows. How are they gonna do that? We have no idea, but I bet it won't be well. Enjoy. So what is the space cow?
Like, hey Jared, can you give us 15 minutes on a cow? It's like, it's always quasi or quasi, and everyone always says it differently, because the Montreal guys are the character people, so they're always like, you know, quasi, and we're like quasi. So the quasi guaza is,
Why do creatures matter? What do they add to our video game?
well, this is a cow and it moves, so it's incredibly exciting. Creatures in general add believability to the world and the experience. And in general, when you're flying your ship or driving around, seeing fauna running around and just being in the world, it's like, oh cool, I'm actually like, you know, on a planet, I'm in an environment.
They present lots of opportunities for unique gameplay situations and allow you to see the landscapes perhaps in a new way. I think players are already really enjoying the creatures that we've got in the game.
The actual release was fine, but when we did the initial release into like PTU, there were problems with the creature desyncing and things like that, but we've been working on fixing that up and, you know, making sure that the creatures are responsive and, well, engaging really.
The biggest challenge in programming creatures is bringing them to life, making sure that all the incredible animations that we've got are placed in the right way and that they're working together as a whole creature that's not just an individual set of animations, but something that's living and breathing. So the Quasi-Grazer is quite a simple creature. We kind of colloquially call it the space cow. We like to put space in front of every other creature. We've had the space dog and the space bird, and now we've got the space cow. It's got quite simple behaviors. They're very gentle creatures.
We look at how cows look, well, not how they look, but how they act, and, you know, they're space mooing and, you know, they're eating grass, they're roaming around in herds, and, well, except the main difference is that they have eggs, which is pretty gross.
Talk to me about space mooing. What's space mooing?
He wants me to do the noise, and I'm going to refrain. I'll let one of the audio people handle that. But what we always give direction to the audio team is just like, we'll be like moo, and then parenthesis like alien or space, just so they don't end up like, you know, just giving us a regular moo. Because, you know, cows actually have regional accents. So if you listen to a cow moo in the south of England or the north of England, they sound very different. So,
Moo!
yeah, moo. You're right, love, moo. What does a Stanton cow moo sound like versus, you know, like a Manchester cow moo?
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. There are 5 different types of Quasi-Grazers in 4.0, and you'll see them scattered in various biomes. The desert variant of the Quasi-Grazer is the one you're all familiar with, that you've seen in like the Star Engine trailer, and it is going to be on Hurston.
It doesn't have fur. It's made for the desert, so it's more like a thick skin. It's similar to a cow, but it doesn't have horns.
It has a typical amount of eggs for a Quasi-Grazer.
What is a typical amount of eggs?
It is randomized, but there is like a typical medium that we go with. It's consistently inconsistent.
So some cows will have more eggs than others?
Yes.
Why?
Because you think of like Spanish cows, right? They tend to be a lot skinnier than like North American cows because they like eat a lot more. They have access to like a lot more water, they've got a lot more food versus like hot areas.
Do you think this is a good use of your time, Zach?
I think I am sick at looking at videos of cows and sending them to animators and be like, no, the tail needs to move like this. The next kind is the boreal forest, which is quite nice as they are on Microtech. You'll see that it has hair around its neck and its faceplate is more pronounced. So they will be spawning near copions and near the Marex as well. And if they ever end up crossing paths, there will be arguments between them. I don't think that the copions will loot the cow eggs, but it just means there's a nice systemic gameplay that you can come across where a copion has hunted a cow in this case. The grasslands version of the Quasi-Grazer, you'll see that they have darker fur and, in general, a more darker shade on their skin as well.
The grassland Quasi-Grazer looks more like a buffalo with the way its fur is made. Like the desert Quasi-Grazer, it also has eggs that you can loot.
They live in the savanna area of Microtech. And it will be joined by a jungle variant which will be sharing the savanna for the time being. And lastly, the one I'm most excited about is the Arctic variant. You will find the tundra space cow in the tundra, the more cold areas of Microtech.
The Arctic space cow we did was one animal that we actually had to do fully covered in fur, which is quite a challenge. I remember Chris saying we want to see hordes of them passing by, so he's talking about 20 or 30 or even hundreds of them passing by. So it would have to be really optimized, and at the same time would have to hit the quality bar. We managed to create a very interesting, fluffy creature that you're going to be able to enjoy very soon.
It's fully covered in hair, and it's using similar tech to what we have on the human beings. You imagine like winds and when it moves and things like that, its fur is basically fully reactive to those elements. So it makes the animations come a lot more alive, and it really shows how having these simulated elements on the creature using our hair tech is just gorgeous.
We're also very excited to see how this opens up a lot of possibilities and opportunities for the creatures in the future, as this was a breakthrough for us to be able to cover such a large creature with so much fur.
The ones with fur look really super cute. I think we want some tongue physics in there as well, because normal cows are quite licky.
Okay, the views and opinions of Andrew Davies do not represent those of Cladiperian Games, Robert Space Industries, or its subsidiaries. I'm having to say this too much lately.
Interestingly, it is the only variant without eggs, and instead you'll be able to loot this creature's tongue.
What?
Yeah, the tongue.
Andrew talked about the tongue. He wanted to add tongue physics.
Yeah, no, probably not. It'd be a bit weird. What noise does a tongue detaching make anyway? You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, you'll make that sound, but not the space move?
I'm not making an animal noise. It's not the weekend yet.
One of the really cool features we've got is that the creatures respond to the day-night cycle. During the nighttime, they're more likely to be sleeping, whereas during the day, they're more likely to be grazing.
It's a very non-lethal kind of set dressing for planets type of animal.
The real trouble comes if you disturb these gentle creatures by attacking them or as there's a hostile nearby.
If you are mean to the cows in any capacity, what they will do is the majority of them will run away. However, one will come and knock you over. And it will only do a small amount of damage, but I would like to track the telemetry on how many people die to them, which would be interesting.
They can be quite deadly, as cows are in real life. 4 or 5 deaths in the UK every year by cows. So yeah, it's quite a dangerous creature if you raise its anger.
Do you ever consider making them mourn the death of another?
That's really depressing. One of my team is very, very keen to get petting of Quasi-Grazers in there, but I think that's a whole other feature that I'll have to wait for another day.
Let us pet the cow. What happens if you are aggressive with the cow?
If you are aggressive to the cow, one cow will end up charging you and knocking you over. This episode is a shit show. Back to you.
So for the next release, we're getting some new features for the character customizer that I think you're really gonna like. We're starting with some new hairstyles.
Let's start with the mullet. We're gonna have a new mullet. This mullet was designed to be really grungy and disheveled. Great to fit with the new pyro stuff. There's also a lovely twin braid that is just parted in the middle. It's an hairstyle that you can actually use to still be fashionable and practical because it's all tied up. Then we also have another style, which is a big curly hair. Very, very volumetric feel to it. It's quite amazing. It's going to be amazing to make it look with the hats and the masks and all that and the way it will fit. I'm pretty sure this is going to cause a great visual impact.
Additionally, for the next release, we're getting tattoos. Finally, you're going to be able to give yourself that specific styling that you're not going to match anyone else in the verse. The tattoo system is really great. You can select from a plethora of tattoos and you can adjust the colors so you get them just as you like them. And you can also set the age on them to make them look like you've had them for a long time.
For the tattoos on the first batch, we have a bunch of different styles. We have some organic tattoos, we have the tattoos of flowers, we have one that's more old school American style.
Like Pico, always a winner, right?
There's a Pico tattoo?
Oh, there's a Pico tattoo. He's gonna be surfing down everyone's necks. Get ready for Pico neck tattoo.
There's a Pico neck tattoo?
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
That's some Cody Road right there.
I don't even know what that is, but yes.
We have used a bunch of teams that are part of the game, like the creatures and the ships also. We have a tattoo for the javelin, which we're showing different side of the ship. We have a tattoo for the Copian, which is more of the old school style. We have the Maroc, which has kind of a synthwave influence. We have one that's a full face skull. Also, I think this one the player is gonna like. Still limited, but as time goes on, we plan to release more and more of these.
People should care about the tattoos because they let you personalize yourself and express yourself in a way that you couldn't with the previous features of the character customizer. It's always been about expressing yourself. That's the whole deal about it. But now this will allow you to get something printed on your face that immediately communicates something to other players about what you are about.
What does a face tattoo communicate about you to other people?
Lots of things. I've seen some stuff. In addition to the tattoos, we're also looking into piercings right now. We have 5 different areas that you can apply them to. We have ears, 1 and 2. We have eyebrows, 1 and 2, and the lower lip.
And nose.
We're also pursuing different piercing styles. So the simple one from an implementation perspective is studs. So we have a range of different stud piercings that you can apply. Rings are a bit more complicated, but because as you shape the face, the rings will have to deform as well as the face. So that might be a little bit longer. And last but not least, we're bringing a new stubble feature to the character customizer. Obviously, we have a huge selection of facial hair already, but now you can change them all to have a stubble built in.
Stubble that you can actually use with any other beard. So you can combine it with a longer beard or a mustache or something, just to give you that different look. We also have 2 new beards. One that is longer groomed, and one that is a bit shorter. It was important to add stubble just to give you a more realistic look for people that want to look more like a fighter and less like a prince. So if you're looking for this pyro look or this look of you're a miner, you're a worker, you're something, then this is just going to give you the edge on your look.
So you just tick the box, stubble, and now you can add that to your sweet Abraham Lincoln beard that you love so much. So that's all of the new features for the character customizer for the next release. Sorry if we couldn't show you everything today, but we're working hard on it. I hope you are as excited as we are for these new features, and I hope you also feel that this is going to allow you to further show your own persona in the verse.
So, what did we learn this week? Well,
Oh my, I like to moo so much. Moo moo.
Yeah, we're just out in the cold here, just doing cow stuff out in the cold.
Aye, we always moo like that and eat loads of grass, aye.
oh, it's so f***ing cold!
Moo. Skål för mjölk. Moo. Moo. I like the moo.
Jared m'a fait dire ces lignes, donc je dois dire le mot. Me, sacre me.